What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here. I am back with another video. Today we are going to be talking about John Tavares. Now I know I've made a couple videos like this, but now that the trade deadline has come and go, we are going to be looking at where John Tavares might be going, or will he stay with the New York Islanders. Before I start this video, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it's not going to happen till the summer. It's a hot topic right now because the Islanders are unsure about their future. You know, they're trying to win hockey games. They're trying to make a push right now, so we'll have to see what happens. The reason I'm bringing this up now is because it doesn't look like the Islanders are going to be making the playoffs. And there was an article posted by Lyle Richardson, aka Specters Hockey. I go and I look up stuff by him all the time, but I really like this article that he had on my NHL trade rumors. And I thought I would just talk about it because, first of all, go check out mynhltraderumors.com. I've read a ton of articles from there, and of course, I really like the work that Lyle does. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly, Lyle Richardson. But yeah, I wanted to talk about his article. I will link it down below. And he was talking about John Tavares, and I have mentioned some of the things that he says in this article, what he wrote in this article before, but I like making update videos, and let me know what you guys think about those videos where I update topics like this going towards the event or whatever it's happening, because I want to see the progress through my videos or through articles, whatever, until John Tavares ultimately makes the decision, or the Islanders make the decision, to be honest. So first, I want to mention to Islanders fans, what you're going through right now, it kind of sucks. I understand. The guy who is basically the face of your franchise, your team is going through a new arena thing. It's exciting, but, you know, it's a little bit, you know, it's difficult to put words on the fact that it's like moving all over the place. It's like moving schools, you know, you got to make new friends, whatever. This arena thing, it's like, you got to find a new home. It's a new place. You got to get comfortable again. So, John Tavares, him leading this team, it eases the pain a little bit if your team isn't as good, because you know you've got a star player who you can build around. The thing is John Tavares might be leaving, and that's something that would really crush the Islanders. I know they've got Barzal, who I'm a huge fan of. I like Bailey. I love the way he plays, and of course I'm a huge fan of Tavares. So Islanders, this isn't a video. Islanders fans, this isn't a video to go after you or to talk smack about you or your team, whatever. I want to see your team succeed because I'm a really big fan of those three guys in particular. But it looks like the Islanders are going through a bit of a rebuild, and I know a lot of people don't like hearing that, but you got to upgrade goaltending, you got to upgrade defense, and you're going to have to find more forwards to put around Tavares to, you know, help him stay, get better depth. That sounds like a rebuild to me, but if you want to give it another name, it's like retooling. You've got guys that you can play on the ice, you've got guys that you can build around, but if I was to put a word on it, I would call it a rebuild. Now, Tavares is going to want to go to a contender if he leaves, in my opinion. I don't see him wanting to go to a rebuilding team. There was rumors that the New York Rangers were interested, but apparently he isn't even interested in going there, whereas I feel the Rangers might be a little bit closer than a lot of teams are to at least retooling their offense again, because they've made some big trades and some of those players might actually go back to their team in the offseason. But let's just go to the beginning of this article where he basically talks about the price for his contract. Now, while he does say this, I don't think it's any surprise that he could get as much as $12 million per season on a 7-year deal. So July 1st, man, if he is available, I mean, we're going to hear all the rumors leading up to it. We might even know before he signs the deal what team he goes to, because look at this year. We all knew Lucic was going to the Oilers. It's like, or what was it, last year, 2 years ago, whatever. Because of social media, because of how great some of these reporters are, we're learning where these guys are going before the deal actually takes place. So, will he test free agency? I honestly think he will. With the Islanders needing to rebuild, I think that he's going to be a guy that is like, okay, listen, I've been with this team my whole life. I'm the captain. I love this team. And he is saying all those things. And, I mean, he could shock us all and re-sign, which I would be surprised at this point. I think a lot of people are saying that he's going to stay, but I don't think he will. I think that he is going to see that there's other teams that are interested in him, and he's going to want to go play for them because the Islanders haven't made a ton of moves. And the thing is this summer, if the Islanders sit down with John Tavares and say, listen, these are guys we're going after, these are the guys we want, which guys do you like, which guys do you think would be good, you have to involve your franchise guy, in my opinion. I think that's saying, listen, we're really trying now. We're really, really trying. And it's not to say they haven't, but it's like we're really going to go after these guys that are going to improve our team. So if they say that to Tavares, if they show him that they're going to make a huge step forward, then he will resign. I think that it's fair enough to say that if they prove to him that they are going to do something big, then, I mean, it's going to have to happen at the draft too. So we'll have to see what happens there. I think it'd be really cool if the Islanders made a bunch of moves in, progress towards trying to keep John Tavares, and we will see that at the draft. The draft for me is going to be the telltale sign if Tavares is going to stay, because they're going to have to make some big moves. If Tavares walks and you didn't have a chance to trade him at the deadline because you were trying to make the playoffs, then that's a huge hit too, because you could have got a king's ransom for Tavares. Now, I don't want to get off topic too much here, but he's only 27. The Hockey News' Jared Clinton said, with the Islanders fading playoff hopes, this could really affect if he stays or not. And I guess that's something I've already mentioned. But here's where the speculation comes in. Darren Dreger dismissed the fact that he would go to the Rangers because he feels that they're rebuilding. The teams that Dreger listed was the St. Louis Blues, the San Jose Sharks, and the Montreal Canadiens, which I believe Tavares was a Canadiens fan when he was growing up. So they're saying that if the salary cap is basically $80 million next season, the Blues only carry a $60.8 million cap hit invested in 16 players. The Sharks have 58.7 tied up in 18, and the Canadiens have 63 million tied into 22 players, which is pretty impressive, I guess. That would be enough money. You're leaving yourself what, like $20+ million, or a little bit less for some of these teams to work with Tavares and possibly getting other pieces. I mean, for the Canadiens, they already have an elite goaltender who had a bit of a hiccup, but his big contract is gonna kick in. They have Drouin, they would have Tavares, they would have Gallagher. Maybe they trade Galchenyuk, maybe they keep him. Maybe they go after a defenseman too. They already have Weber. I know he hasn't been that great, but that's an option. The Blues would be very interesting adding to their already talented team. I think the Blues would become like major contenders if they were able to get Tavares. Same with the Sharks, but again, I feel like there's a possibility Joe Thornton could leave, and I mean, Tavares playing with Burns too, that would be crazy, him on the back end. But yeah, those are some options. They also mentioned Buffalo, but they're a rebuilding squad. I can't see him going there. I honestly can't see him going to the Sharks either, to be honest with you. I think the Blues and the Canadiens would be the teams I would pick. They also list Carolina here, which would be very cool. I would like to see him play there, even though it would obviously be against the Leafs quite a bit of time. They have a lot of space. Same with the Sabres. The Detroit Red Wings, again, I can't see any of those three teams being players for him unless they give him a ton of more money, but I think he really would like to go to a cup contender. There's teams that are mentioned here that are closest to teams like Tampa, Pittsburgh, and Nashville are like the Blues and the Sharks. But I would see him better fit with the Canadiens and the Blues. I'm not sure if the Sharks would be a big fit for him. They also mentioned the fact that the Leafs would be players, and a lot of people don't like when I talk about the Leafs going after big-name players. Do I think Tavares would sign with the Leafs long-term? If the Leafs wanted to. At this point, I don't think the Leafs want to sign him long-term. Obviously, having Tavares would be fantastic, out of this world, but they've got to have to invest a lot of money into other players, and they already have money invested into other players. Unless they could figure out a way to make it work, I don't know how this happens. Obviously, the Leafs are probably going to let JVR, Bozak, and Komarov walk this year. Could that be a reason why the Leafs could go after Tavares? Yeah, maybe. But listed in here is the same thing I was going to bring up and I have brought up before. Matthews, Kadri, Nylander are already centermen. You're going to have those guys as centermen in the future. Nylander's not really a centerman right now, but Matthews and Kadri, how do you knock any of those guys down? I mean, you could probably knock Kadri down, but Matthews, I think they want to give him more of the ice time, grow him into a star player, which he already technically is, but I'm not sure how you divvy up minutes if you add in Tavares there as well. Obviously, it's a good problem to have. The only thing I will bring up with TSN said that maybe the Leafs offer him like a stupid amount of money for 1 year, like 14.5, and they say, listen, if you want to come here, let's go for a Stanley Cup, a 1 year deal. We'll give you all the money you want here, all the endorsements. And if we win a Stanley Cup, or if you put up a ton of points with this already loaded offense, your value could go up in the next season, and who knows if the cap ceiling goes up again and then your contract could get bigger and whatever. I mean, that is an option. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I think he's going to go to the Leafs? No. I would still consider Montreal and the Blues as better fits. He would clearly be the best guy available. And Islanders fans, there is a good chance that he could stay with the Islanders. Again, though, I'm going to bring it up. I don't think he's going to stay unless they make big moves at the draft, or at least let him know, hey, listen, we're going to make moves at the draft. We're going to make moves during free agency. We're really going to try to go for it, and we're going to make a bunch of trades to satisfy you, to build around you. But I still think they're kind of in a rebuilding phase as well, or at least a retooling phase. So let me know what you guys think about Tavares. I think that he is happy with the Islanders, but he might want to leave just to go to a contender, have a chance at winning a Stanley Cup, signing long-term with a team that could bring him to the promised land, and he would definitely help a team, obviously, being still pretty young, being an elite player, being a first-line guy. Let me know what you guys think. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. Lots of streams coming up. So I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.